Hey y'all, it's your girl Alfia Williams. I am the owner of the Lifetime Movie fan page on Facebook. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. I am an up-and-coming content creator and I appreciate everybody. I want to address some things right quick before we get started. I know some people, somebody had recently made a comment about one of my reviews saying that I watched the movie, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. Good reviews and bad reviews are welcome. But I'm going to say this. When you feel as though you want to say something and come at somebody, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm not going to address anything unless I feel as though I need to. But I'm not fit to let negativity come in my life. There was a time in my early 20s, I'll be 31 this year. If you haven't already, follow me on TikTok at Your Daddy House and on Instagram at Cookie at Your Daddy House. I used to argue with people on the internet. Now, it may come a time I may want to go back or whatever, may have to say my piece, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm a drama-free person. So if you want to feel as though you may not like something, I'm not going to keep addressing it. I'm not going to address it. I'm just going to block you. You can watch a video, but you can't say anything on my video. So I just want to let you guys know we're here for peace, not drama, not negativity, not nothing. So if you feel as though you're going to do it, don't do it because you're going to get blocked. I don't have time for that. I'm not going to be one of them content creators. Oh, I'm going to argue with you or say anything. If I feel as though I need to, I will. But I'm not here for drama. So let's enjoy my reviews. If you don't want to listen, it's fine. You don't have to watch it. Thank you. But let's get to the movie. Gaslight by my husband. Now, this movie came out later on. Well, probably like a couple weeks ago. And I finally today finished watching it. Because I had started it but didn't finish it, and I started watching some other stuff. So I'm trying to commit to watching a movie. Okay, so Gaslight by my husband. Let's get into what this movie was about. So the description says, Gaslight by my husband, the Morgan Metzger, y'all know I'm terrible with names, story, and it is based on a true story. After a mass intruder assaults Morgan in her home, her ex-husband Rodney shows up minutes later, questioned by the authorities. Rodney's story doesn't seem to add up, making him the prime suspect in the attack. So the movie opens up with Morgan in the house, and a guy with a mask has a gun on. And of course, we're trying to figure out who is it that came into her home and attacked her. So it does flashback about 8 years ago, I think it said. And it shows what happened. They had a baby. His name was Kevin. Kevin didn't make it. R.I.P. to their son. So Morgan was going through some things. Like anybody that has lost a child, they go through grieving stations, and you never get over that grief, because I lost my mom at 13, and now that I'm older, it's kind of hard. It gets harder and harder, and I tell people it never gets easy. And I'm gonna go ahead and say something that has nothing to do with the movie, but just for myself, just to get this off my chest. I've met some people that care that I lost my mom, and I've met a lot of people here recently. Now that I'm older, they don't really care, and they still mistreat me. But back to the movie, and not about me, but just the movie right now. So they have a birthday party every year for Kevin. They do have a set of twins, a boy and a girl. And they have a birthday party. And Morgan is late to the party. She got the cake or whatever. She went to her little session. She goes to a little session, a little circle section to talk to people about grieving. And she comes to the birthday party late. And her husband, is kind of trying to take the cake from her. The cake falls or whatever. Her mom ends up fixing it or whatever. And she meets a young lady. And this young lady and her become business partners later on in the movie. And she noticed some stuff about Rodney. And she actually recorded something. Morgan and Rodney start having problems. And, one day they were arguing. And somehow, he grabbed her. And she fell down the stairs. And it looked like they both fell down the stairs. And he went and told her parents. And her parents came to talk to her the next day. And they was like, Rodney told us what happened this morning. Well, yesterday. He came to talk to us this morning and told us. She was like, yeah, or whatever. And her family was on his side or whatever. What stuck to me the most in this movie was the end when they were in the court and he was getting sentenced. Because he was the one that he broke into her home. Rodney was gaslighting her, making her think she was crazy. He said you're mixing pills with liquor and you're not. You're having he blamed her for an affair. Rodney was taking steroids. Rodney even tried to get her back because she ended up leaving. I'm glad that she left. She left Rodney because she found out that Rodney actually, when she thought, okay, at the birthday party of Kevin, let me not go all over the place because, I'm always all over the place. I mean, I always cover topics, but just topics that stick out to me. Rodney told her at the birthday party at Kevin's that she hit him with her water bottle. And she really thought she hit him. And he went out there and told her, he's like, yeah, something's going on. But the young lady that she went into business with, let me look up her name right quick because I want to make sure I say her name right. They became business partners. And she really did help Morgan. And I like the fact that, because Morgan was an interior design. And let me see what her friend's name is. Nicole. Nicole and Morgan became business partners because Morgan was a good interior design. She designed her home, and Nicole was fascinated by it. She was taking pictures, and she actually ended up recording the argument that her and Rodney had, and Rodney hit her because it looked like she hit him, but she was like, yeah, I've been, basically, Rodney told her he was going to be going out of town for a job interview because he had been carrying them for a while and he lost his job. So she opened her own business because she said she wanted to be interior design, and she was killing the game. And he told her he was going out of town for Valentine's weekend in Dallas, and he was going for a job, and she's like so proud of him or whatever. But we found out later on in the movie, Rodney did not go. That's when Nicole showed her the video because Morgan was late for a meeting with one of their potential clients that became their client. She was like, she's like, are you okay? Whatever. Nicole was really worried about her because she saw how Rodney was. She saw right through the bullshit because she was the one that captured that he had slapped her. And he had Morgan thinking, oh, you hit me. And she didn't even hit him. He hit her. And Nicole had the proof. She showed her. And she also, when she first walked into the thing, she's like, oh, I'm sorry, late. I'm sorry, I'm late. And she realized something. There's a picture of her husband on Valentine's Day weekend. She's like, wasn't he supposed to be in Dallas? She's like, maybe the picture was old. She's like, no. And Nicole saw how her friend her business partner, her boss, was unfolding in front of her face. She knew that Rodney wasn't a good man because Rodney came home after his whole trip from Dallas and threw something in her face, basically letting her know, hey, have you been cheating on me or whatever. Rodney was a whole narcissist, and she deserves so much better. I'm glad that she got her justice in the end because he was the one that broke in her house after she left him. And while she was leaving in front of their kids, he pulled out a gun that he gave to her for Valentine's Day. He pulled out that gun. What was she going to do with that gun? She drove. She didn't flinch. She left. She left him. Because he came outside and he was like, don't leave, Morgan, don't leave. And then he stood in front of the car and he pulled the gun out. And she looked at him and she just drove around him. She should have ran him over, but hey, because our kids are in the car. Don't be stupid. But can you imagine the love of your life that you thought was the love of your life come and break into your home and attack you, sexually assault you, and then act like he didn't do it? And then his dumb butt had the pictures because he broke into home. He took pictures. I think he was not going to attack her until she heard it because she had a floorboard. The floorboard is really, what is the floorboard? It's like a clue in the movie. So Rodney had came over for Christmas, and to get the kids, he brought them cell phones, and Nicole had went upstairs. Well, Morgan had went upstairs to go pack the kids' clothes so that he could take them to her sister's house. And Nicole was like, do you really want to go to flirt with him? And she's like, well, back to before she said, she came in the room and the floorboard squeaked. And she said, I can fix that. She said, no, that lets me know when the kids are sneaking downstairs to get the ice cream. That's how Rodney got called. Rodney went in the home, broken home, had the mask on. He got the gun, and he was walking out of the room, and the floorboard caught him, and Morgan instantly jumped up. And then she's like, oh my God, she started screaming. And he ran and attacked her. Had the mask on. She looked in his eyes. I think she knew it was him. And he was like, do you love your husband? And she was like, I love my husband with all my heart. And yeah, he was like, he kind of froze or whatever. But she could tell, you know how you can tell by somebody because of their eyes. Rodney had those distinctive eyes. And he didn't want to call the police. So she called the police after he had attacked her and assaulted her. And then he said, don't move until you hear three horns and everything, because he covered her face with a pillowcase. And then he came and said, so, are you okay? He said, I'm glad I came. And she was just so distraught. He had beat her up, pistol whipped her with the gun, and zip tied her. She's like, I want to call my dad. She called her dad, and she's like, I'm going to call the police. The police came. He went, opened the door, and he wouldn't let them in at first until she knocked something over, because she knew it was him. She knew it was him. She knew it had to be him that came and broke her home and attacked her, because the attacker even asked if she had some jewelry. It was just sad how Rodney did his wife. He said he loved her. And on the court day, he told her, they was like, do you have something to say? He said he's guilty. And the judge asked him to repeat it again. He said, I'm guilty. And he said, do you have anything to say? He said, I just want to say I love my wife. She got up there and said her piece and said, you don't love somebody when you do these things to them. And I was like, yes, go ahead, Morgan, because Rodney didn't deserve you. He got sentenced to prison. I don't know how long it was, but I'm glad that Morgan got her justice, because he was a narcissist and he beat her up and assaulted her. How can you love somebody and you assault them and make it like they were beating you up and you was beating on her the whole time? Now, I'm going to say this. I don't think they should have been together because, like I said, they had different, when they got married or whatever. I think when they lost Kevin, I think that's what really took a strain of their marriage. And Morgan never got over it, poor thing. And it was just like Kevin was just going on with life or whatever. I mean, I do feel bad for him too. But like I said, I think it was just a lot going on. They had twins and Morgan was just out of it. But she was still there being the mom or whatever and doing the things she had to do. It was just so much for Morgan. And then he was like, no one would believe you because our friends are my friends. And I felt so bad for her. And now that they know the truth, did anybody apologize to her? It was just a lot. But Morgan got her justice in the end. He went to jail. It didn't say how long he went to jail. And Morgan is, got to live with her life or whatever. But Gaslight by my husband was actually a really good story. It reminds me of some of the movies from back in the 90s, early 2000s. I know a lot of people complain about Lifetime movies saying they lost their touch. Like I said, stuff changes all the time. It does, And some of the actors and actresses have gotten older that were the original for Lifetime. And one just recently passed away, the star of 90210, R.I.P. to, I want to say her name correctly because I feel bad that she had lost her battle to cancer. Shannon Duhart. I'm going to say a few movies that she has been in. She played in the remake of No One Would Tell. She played 90210. She played in Charm, Beverly Hills 90210. She played in the remake of 90210. She played in The Rendering, Another Day, Gone in the Night. That is one of the Lifetime movies. I think that's the one about the little girl that goes missing. She did do the Dying to Belong, the remake. Shannon Duhart has played in a lot of movies, and she will be greatly missed. And that's all I have. Take a moment out and like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.